Hello everyone, my name is Hunter and today I wanted to share with you 5 tips that I think could make a Call of Duty player's experience better in Overwatch. Before we jump right in, I just wanted to say if you could give us some feedback in the comments below or giving us a thumbs up, or you could be our 10th subscriber, you never know. At tip number 1, which could be the most important out of all of them, is decision making. Now, I have been playing MOBAs for the last couple of years and I have been mentally trained to make on-the-fly decisions. What is my risk versus reward in this scenario? Should I take this fight? Do I have an advantage in this scenario? I'm not trying to bash Call of Duty players, but there just isn't a lot of decision making that goes on in their games. I was a very big Call of Duty player back in the day, and I just felt that when I played MOBAs, I had to train myself to make these split decisions with the information that the game gave me. So some tips to improve on your decision making is pre-thinking. By pre-thinking, I'm saying that you should think about what may happen when I get to this spot. Do I have my ultimate? How are the enemy team gonna attack us from this angle? And what happens if this character ulties us? How am I gonna react around this? And that will create an environment where your brain can improve on itself and learn these skills that you didn't so much have to have in Call of Duty. Alright guys, now on to the next tip. I'm sorry about the first one being so long, I just want to get as much information out to you as I could. So tip number 2 is going to be communication. It is no surprise that Overwatch is a team-based game and that interacting with your teammates is going to give you the best opportunity for a victory. Let me be clear, I am not saying that all communication is good. I think that some competitive trash talking is alright as long as it's not too vulgar, but I'm talking about the communication where you need to call out things to your team. For example, if you type in chat Reaper flanking top left, then your team now knows that a Reaper could be hitting us from the top left with an ulti in the next 5 to 10 seconds. This will give them a heads up and could ultimately save your team from being wiped entirely. Another example of communication that you could use is the in-game communication board. Who knew? So using this can be very helpful. I know that when I am low and I need healing, I usually hit that, and because sometimes it can be hard for a Mercy or Lucio to know who's getting fired at and what's all going on there. So, and also the ultimate timing and cooldown thing can really help your team out a lot, so make sure you're using those as well in game. The third tip is going to be short and simple, and it's the most obvious thing. It is objectives over kills. Now, I'm not saying kills aren't important, I'm just saying that knowing when to push the objective is very key. Overreaching your bounds and pushing into the enemy's spawn can sometimes result in a loss. So knowing when and where you should push your advantages to get kills or to push the objective is something that you need to improve on. Alright, so tip number 4 is going to be composition. Now, this is touched on a lot in a lot of Reddit posts and stuff of that sort, so I'm just going to say that sometimes you're going to need to play tanks, and sometimes you're going to need to play support, and other times you'll be able to play an attack hero or a favorite defensive hero. I'm just saying that sometimes you're going to want to find a champion who you like to play in every single role, so that when you have to play that role, you'll enjoy it and have fun. And for my final tip for a Call of Duty player who wants to have a good experience in the Overwatch community is to know that you're part of the loss. What I'm saying with this is that don't blame your teammates for losing the game for you. You were part of that loss. You have to learn from your mistakes, and look, if you can record your games, do it, because you can look back and say, what could I have done here? How could I improve here? If you have this mentality, you will improve in the game. But if you continuously blame your teammates and often find yourself raging at them, you won't improve and you'll just be in the bronze effect of League of Legends. So I hope these tips really helped you, and see you in the next video, guys.